Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. And for those of you celebrating Thanksgiving today, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you've had a wonderful day, a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner, a great time together with your families. If you're watching this, I'm also saying thank you for watching this and thank you for being here with me on day 3 of our free bite-sized masterclass series for people who manage people and teams. So, welcome everybody. And today we are talking about breathing and diction exercises. It is, and by the way, for those of you who weren't here yesterday or the day before, this is what we're doing here. And probably if I put this on, it will make better sense of why we're doing breathing and diction exercises. Why does that have to do, what does that have to do with managing teams and people? Well, it does have to do with managing communication, which has a lot to do with managing our relationships with people, not just with the team that we're managing, but also with our clients, with our family, with our friends, right? The beautiful thing about the soft skills is that you can use them both at home and at work. They don't make any difference between the two, only we have this perception that, oh, okay, maybe here I should be using these skills and maybe here I'm using these skills. Well, actually, we use a lot of all of the skills all the time. So, because we're discussing high performance and improvement and development, personal and professional development, they go hand in hand. Whenever we talk about high performance, we talk about the full high performance cycle, which is preparation, performance, and recovery. So don't think about it just as the performance bit. It's also important to know how to prepare, and it's also important to know how to recover. And so think of yourselves as high performing athletes in whatever it is that you're doing. If you are looking at having an impact, at being that dream boss, dream leader, dream manager, and building that dream team or that dream business. So here is what we will be doing over the 3 weeks of the free masterclass series, which I'm so excited about because we're celebrating Black Friday for 3 weeks with this free masterclass series. So this week we'll discuss about preparation, so emotional intelligence, mindsetting, power poses, and body language, and their influence on mindset. And today it's going to be breathing and diction exercises, which are going to be a lot of fun and also very practical and very useful. And then next week, we're going to talk about managing your time, your team, and managing change. And then the week after, we talk about self-care strategies, the power of community, and the importance of higher purpose in engaging and motivating yourself and your team. So this is the plan. And by the way, the plan is also that you can contribute and you can ask your questions, you can make your comments wherever you're watching this and whenever you're watching it. And if you're watching it live, thank you for watching and thank you for being here with me. So let's get things rolling with some breathing exercises. And I really hope that you will be doing them together with me because that's much more fun. And you know what? If I can do it, if I can do them here live, online, on all of these platforms, you might want to try them out at home behind your screen. So we're going to start with breathing exercises. And here's how it's going to work. So what we will do is, first of all, you either stand up or sit up straight. If you don't want to stand up, fine, then don't. That is all right. But And don't worry if this exercise looks a little bit weird or feels a little bit weird, don't worry about it, because we will debrief right afterwards and you'll see why this is an important exercise for you. So first off, stand or sit up straight and put one hand on your ribs. So basically when you inhale, you feel your ribs expanding. You can try it out with me right now. Okay, right? See that? That's just to make sure that you're inhaling properly. And then the other hand you can place on your chest. Why that is? Because when you do this exercise and when you use your normal natural voice, the voice that is not stressed, the voice that you speak on when you talk to your friends, to your family, to your coworkers, whenever you're in an environment where you feel safe and relaxed, that's the natural voice that you have, and you will feel your chest vibrating when you do that. So when you speak on your normal voice, on your normal tone of voice, normally you should feel your chest vibrating. Okay, so here's how it goes. We inhale, counting to 3, and then we exhale, counting to 6. And we are going to also say on the exhale, right? Because that also helps us find that natural voice, find that good voice, that soothing voice, that natural voice, that relaxed voice. Okay? And then I will explain why this is an important exercise for you to do before presentations or important communications or phone calls or meetings. Okay, so here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, and exhale. I'm counting. I'm gonna make myself bigger so you can actually see me counting, because I realize you can't. Okay, so I hope that went well for you. Let's do it one more time. Okay, so here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, and exhale. See, even did you hear the difference in my voice? Could you tell the difference in my voice? I started on a higher pitch, and then towards the end it was a lower pitch. So this is an exercise that you can do. And by the way, you can do this exercise as you walk, as you do if you do morning walks or afternoon walks, whatever. It goes perfectly with walking, only that with walking you will probably need to inhale as you count to maybe 6 or 7, because when we're moving we need more oxygen. And then the important thing is going to be when you exhale, to exhale double the time of the time that you're inhaling. This is what we did here in this exercise. The exhaling time was double to the inhaling time. And why that is because when we are in situations when we are stressed, when we are under pressure, what happens is the rhythm of the heartbeat accelerates. We get a lot of adrenaline pumped into our blood. And then the way that we breathe is going to be more accelerated. And what happens when you do this kind of exercise over and over again is, first of all, you get used to inhaling and exhaling fully as you are also speaking, as you are also saying something. Because when I am under pressure right before that important presentation or pitch or client meeting or team meeting, sometimes what happens because of that pressure is we get what we would call the head voice, which is this voice, the bottleneck voice, which is also the squeaky voice, because it comes from here. It comes and it stays here. And because it stays here, I cannot breathe properly as I also speak. And now imagine me talking to you for the rest of the session on this voice. You would probably put me on mute or just leave altogether, right? Because the head voice, this voice, is the voice that we use when we are stressed, and also the voice we use when we are angry. So this is the voice we fight on, the voice that we use when we have arguments. And it might also be the voice that your parents sometimes scolded you on when you were kids and you were doing something that they didn't agree with. That's the voice. And the problem with it, apart from it not letting you breathe properly and communicate properly, is also that people don't want to hear what that voice has to say. When I hear this voice, I don't want to know what it has to say to me, because it immediately takes me to that place where it was criticizing me. So whatever it has to say to me, I'm not really interested, and I'm going to block it. I'm not going to hear everything that it has to say. So what this exercise does, and the more you do it, and for those of you who have kids or nephews or nieces or family, it's super helpful for them as well, because they learn how to relax and how to minimize that pressure, that kind of stress that comes in different kinds of situations when that we associate with public speaking, with what we call public speaking. And now we do speak in public a lot, right? We speak in public not necessarily on a stage. We speak in public when we have a job interview, when we meet somebody for the first time, when we network, when we are on a team meeting, on a client meeting, on a client call. There's all sorts of public speaking. So this is what this exercise helps you with. And especially when you, as a team leader or as a team manager, when you need to communicate a difficult situation or a difficult message to your team, you want to be in that space and you want to be able to communicate with this voice so that people feel reassured. It's the voice that helps you feel more confident and more balanced and more reassured whenever you're communicating something. So try it out, see how it works, and do this exercise as much as you can, because it really helps you get that voice when you need it, to get your natural tone of voice when you need it most. And I have another exercise that goes super well after we've just found our voice right now. And what we're gonna do, it's called read on one breath. And the reason for that is that now that you've found your voice, you can start exercising and practicing. And now you can play with the volume, with the pitch, with the pace, depending on what you need to work on. So, for instance, if you find that you talk too fast, especially in situations when you're stressed out, then this exercise is going to help you pace that down. If you want to speak faster because you feel that you speak too slowly, then this exercise is going to help you do that. You can also play with and adjust the volume, because now that you found this kind of voice, now you can play and start to practice on how you can project it depending on the environment that you need to speak in. And it's especially useful it's an especially useful exercise for instances where people don't see you, where people can't see you. So they will only hear your voice. So what this exercise does, if you do it regularly, first of all, it diminishes stress. It diminishes that you learn how to manage that pressure, and you learn to communicate well under pressure. So for this exercise, all you need is a book or a magazine, or you're watching this on the internet. You can open a browser and look up something that you want to read from if you want to do it with me. If not, what you can do is just watch me doing it, and then you can do it afterwards. So I have a book. I'm not sure that you can actually see the title because it's not. So the title of this book is, and I actually recommend it to you because it gives you a lot of ideas and a lot of tips on body language and mirroring and how you can communicate effectively with your team. And plus, it's super funny. So it's called If I Understood You, Would I Have This Look on My Face? I mean, even the title is funny. I love it. It's written by Alan Alda. And for those of you who are about my age, around 40, or maybe older, maybe younger, it doesn't matter. He used to play in the MASH series, MASH. So he's an actor, and he also talks a lot about communication. So I really recommend it. So the way it goes is, again, we are going to inhale. I'm going to put this, make this bigger so you can see how this goes. And I'm going to take the caption off. Okay, perfect. So you inhale, the same thing, sit up, stand up straight. The reason for sitting up and standing up straight is because we can actually breathe better, right? Because the posture allows us to breathe better. I'm not hunched, I'm sitting up or standing up straight, right? And we're gonna inhale, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna read an excerpt of this book or whatever it is that you have open or nearby. We're gonna read for as long as we can on one breath. So the whole point of this exercise is I inhale, I start reading, and I don't stop reading until I feel like I have no more air in my lungs. Ideally, have a window open in the room, because when you do this for the first time around, it might get you dizzy, which is fine. And then just make sure that you can sit down, relax, and breathe normally. It will get back to normal. Okay, so let's do this. I'm now going to start reading, and I'm gonna make this bigger so you can actually see. Okay, so let's take the two of us. We're having a conversation about the brain, and I can see all your body language. I have a lot of information that allows me to predict what you're going to do next. If I'm unable to read you, this conversation would be much more unsettling to me, because I'll never know if you're about to slap me in the face. That's how it goes. Now, this, again, for those of you who have kids, this exercise is amazing. For those of you who want to do public speaking, this exercise is amazing. For those of you who are stressed or anxious before they do any kind of more public communication, this is a wonderful exercise. And now, so I'm gonna show you. I've read this bit, so this paragraph. Now what's gonna happen next time, because now we take a break, and then the next time that I do this exercise, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna aim to read at least one more word, an extra word compared to what I just read to you now. And that is how I practice the intake that I need for whenever I need to communicate. That is how I put pressure on myself. And because I put pressure on myself, I get used to the triggers of survival mechanisms, right? Because basically what we're telling to our brain is, hey, I'm not going to inhale until I've finished reading this. And then we panic. So subconsciously, there's this state of panic that we put on ourselves. And what that does at the same time is it helps me speak and breathe at the same time. It helps me understand how much air I need for when I communicate and for when I want to communicate effectively. The kind of intonation, the kind of volume, the pace, the pitch, everything. And then I can play with that. And what happens when I'm under pressure that comes externally? So I'm in a situation where I normally feel stressed about, but it's external. I don't put that pressure on myself. But when this happens, because I've done this exercise, I will know how to manage that pressure. I will know how to manage, actually, I'm not managing the pressure, I'm managing myself under that kind of pressure. And I will know what to do, just taking some deep breaths in and out, and then pacing myself and finding that voice, the chest voice that I need, that allows me to breathe so I can speak properly, so I don't hear myself speaking on that squeaky voice. So this is what this exercise does. And with that comes more confidence, because when I use my normal natural voice that I'm used to hearing every day, what happens is I get more confidence and I feel more balanced. And second of all, I don't feel as tired as I feel when I speak on this voice that doesn't let me breathe. And after the first 30 seconds, I start getting tired because I'm not getting enough air. So this is what this exercise helps with. And I have one more, which is the natural follow-up after this one, and it's a diction exercise. This diction exercise is very useful for all those of you who want to eliminate filler words, ums, uhs, who want to start articulating words better. Also helps with the pace, with managing the pace. So it's a wonderful exercise, and plus it is so much fun. It goes pretty much the same way as the previous one, and you can do it in many ways. So basically, all you need is to stand up or sit up straight, take a deep breath in, and have a pencil. Have a pencil with you, or a pen, but a pencil is better because it's longer and it's thinner, and you can hold it in your mouth. So here are the instructions. I just got a message that I'm having connection issues. Okay, I am having connection issues, but apparently they're fixed. Oh, thank you, Internet. Thanksgiving. Okay, so here we go. All you need is to hold the pencil in your mouth and start speaking or reading. If you have the book near you, you can start reading, or you can simply start speaking like this. It goes like this. I'm going to show you because now we don't have internet connections and internet issues anymore. Okay? That's how it goes, right? And see what that does is it makes me smile, and I start articulating words differently. And also, you will know that you're successful with this exercise if people understand what you're saying. And by the way, if you want to do something fun with your family or your team, I call it, you know what, we all have the work team and the family team. So whichever team you choose, if you can do this exercise with them, it's so much fun. So you can start speaking like that, or you can also combine it with reading on one breath. And basically, you're doing the same exercise we did before, only that now you're doing it with the pencil in your mouth, and then that pushes you to articulate words even more. And what this exercise helps with is that it, first of all, it warms up your face muscles, or our face muscles. It warms up my face muscles as well. So this is a great exercise to do whenever, for instance, you just woke up in the morning, you know you have an important meeting early in the morning before you actually had the chance to talk to anybody. So that's when the voice is a little bit rusty, and that's when we maybe don't articulate words the way that we would like to. So that's when this exercise as a warm-up is super helpful. It also helps you eliminate those filler words, and it also helps you breathe better, articulate better, communicate better, and also It's a great exercise before meetings that are done only on the phone, so where people can't actually see you, they can only hear you. So that, and used regularly, it really helps you become a better communicator, because you understand how you can pace yourself, how you can maybe use a specific intonation for one word over the other. And you will get more and more comfortable in this kind of situations where you need to communicate effectively and where you would normally feel under pressure or stressed. So I really, and plus it's fun and it makes you smile instantly, right? These, all that we did here today, these are exercises that help you, together with power poses, together with being aware of what your body posture is and what your thoughts about different kinds of situations are. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of internal work. And that is part of, I call it preparation or warm ups. And think about, again, I go to that analogy with athletes and high performing athletes. They don't just jump into going for that race or going for that game without a proper warm up and without proper routines in place, without knowing the techniques. So, what we've done during these 3 days are some techniques that help you warm up before events or situations where you need to be at your best, when you need to perform at high levels. And these are good for preparation. They're also good for recovery, because you can take a break, you can take 5, you can just do a breathing exercise, you can do some power poses to change your posture and to change your perspective. And then that kind of also changes your energy and your power to keep working or do things differently, change the behavior so that you get the results that you want to get. So what we've done here is a lot of that. If you missed the exercises that we did yesterday and on Tuesday, no worries. I'm gonna put the link to where you can get all of these resources and videos and handouts. And by the way, for today, I'm gonna also share this handout, and I'm gonna share some links to video exercises for you to do with, again, whichever team you choose, teamwork or team family, or why not both. They're very useful and they're also very funny. And if you want more of all of the stuff that helps you develop as a manager, as a leader, I'm reminding you that we have the Lead for Legacy League, which is a global online group program for management and leadership development. And you're getting assessments and strategies and online courses and group coaching and brainstorming, a lot of fun stuff. And it's online, one click away. So if you want it, let me know. I'm happy to share more information about it. And next week, we are moving from preparation into performance, and we are going to talk about managing your time. So we start with managing time on Tuesday, December 1st. And then we are going to also talk about managing your team and managing change. And we're going to look in particular at the difference between managing change and managing crisis. So check the link in the description, get all of your resources. Get back next week. See you next week. Let's learn some more techniques and fun stuff that you can use with your team. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Otherwise, thank you and good night.